We all love a classy entrance, don't we? Come on, have we all tried to think of creative ways we could have made our own presence felt in our surroundings? Well, while puny humans like us have to worry about this kind of stuff, the X-Men rarely break a sweat to announce their arrival on the most epic levels. This is the TV Regent, and today I'm going to be discussing the top 10 X-Men entrances in the movies. Yes, I'm still keeping it only to the movies, so don't come at me in the comments, okay? Remember to like, share and subscribe to the channel to remain updated about my regular uploads. I've got some exclusive goodies waiting for you on my Patreon and membership programs. The links are in the description. Alright, enough talk. Let's enter this list. Come on, I wasn't not gonna make that joke, was I?
Where the hell are we?
You know, people like you are the reason I was afraid to go to school as a child.
Oh boy, did this give you goosebumps or what? As a kid, I obviously read the comics and I knew what Mystique was capable of, but to see her in action for the first time was an absolute treat. The scene starts off with Senator Kelly trying to justify his motives behind imprisoning people he doesn't understand. Basically, the guy's trying to tell his aide Henry the war is good. But guess what, asshole? Henry isn't Henry. It's the blue-skinned boss woman herself, and she literally kicks the shit out of the annoying jerk. Hell yeah. The effects of her camouflage transformation was spot on, and considering I was just a kid living in the year 2000, those were the most mind-blowing visuals I'd ever experienced. It was the perfect establishment of her motives, and I still don't forgive Fox for messing up her character arc in the original trilogy. She had so much damn potential.
Oh, bad guys to kill. Maximum effort.
Have you seen this man?
We were all in for a super pleasant surprise on this one then, weren't we? After that horrible and disgusting abomination that we saw in X-Men Origins, Ryan Reynolds finally gave us the Deadpool we needed and deserved. And what an introduction it was. It was exactly what we were hoping for when we sat in the theaters hoping for Fox not to mess up a really likable character. Every single thing about the opening sequence was amazing. From Deadpool constantly breaking the fourth wall to saying the most ridiculous stuff while fighting a bunch of goons. This was the perfect entrance into our hearts for the foul-mouthed assassin. Also, the Superman parody scene right after deserves a special mention too. See, this is why I love R-rated stuff.
Okay, let's pro-con this superhero thing. Ow. They're all lame-ass teachers' pets.
Okay, I have to admit that this is a deleted scene and doesn't exactly introduce us to Storm, but it sure as hell announces her like the weather queen that she is. It looks like it's actually meant to be towards the end of the movie in the final battle sequence with the Brotherhood. People are fighting and all of a sudden, Storm just rises up and calls upon the clowns to freaking drown the opposition. Oh man, I wouldn't want to catch her on a gloomy day. Okay, that's the last one in the video, I promise, okay? But seriously, this could have been a really cool way to show the audience just how cool and powerful Storm really is. What a shame.
I think I finally understand you.
Logan was a pretty emotional and amazing movie, especially considering all the confusing stuff that came before it in Fox's troubled universe for gifted youngsters. One of its most tragic scenes was when poor Charles Xavier came face to face with X-24 in a rather awkward introduction. There really isn't a lot happening in terms of action, but man, this scene hits you hard, especially if you've been following the X-Men movies despite its confusing narratives. To see the old man nearing the end of his life and sharing his feelings with whom we assume to be Logan was actually really touching. You want to know what wasn't touching? That asshole clone stabbing the professor in the chest, thus ending his whirlwind journey that started with us all the way back in 2000. It was such an effective way of using subtlety to introduce the most dangerous villain of the movie. But that death scene, it really got on my nerves. I freaking hate X-24, he sucks.
What the hell are you?
Where's Hank?
I'm here.
I think I got a new name for you. Beast.
I always felt that Hank McCoy could have been given a better story arc for the original trilogy, but then again, there's a lot that needs to be said about that universe. Maybe I'll cover that in a separate video. Anyway, fans got the chance to get reacquainted with the Beast himself in X-Men First Class. It was a nice touch to show him as human, till he, messes shit up and transforms into the blue furry badass we know him to be. It's actually a pretty beautiful moment when we get our first look at him. He's ashamed of his identity, but Mystique shows him love and acceptance, and it's really very sweet. But then Magneto messes it up, and it takes Professor X's commanding accent to stop Hank from going full murderous monster real quick. In Magneto's defense though, he didn't really say anything offensive. I guess Hank was just giving us a first-hand view of all the oversensitive snowflakes that were going to spread all over the internet in the coming years. Good job, Hank.
Peter, the cops are here. Again.
What do you guys want? I didn't do anything. I've been here all day.
Let me just start off by saying, Marvel, that wasn't cool what you did in WandaVision. You gave me hope! Okay, rant over. Peter Maximoff is an interesting character because we can relate to him a lot. Not the kleptomania bit though, trust me, I'm not a thief, boss. Days of Future Past gives us the fun side of his character by having him as a compulsive snatcher. His mother already believes he's in trouble with the police just by looking at a trio that consists of an Australian hunk, a cute nerd, and hippie Charles. I mean, at least give your son a chance, lady. Peter shows off his skills in a braggadocious manner and only shows his interest when being offered the chance to break into the freaking Pentagon. It's a pretty good setup of his character if you ask me. Anyway, we get a nice bit of comic relief in this scene, and it was very much needed considering all those Sentinel sequences. God, there was so much death in that movie now that
Unleash your power! Let go!
if there was any way to show Jean Grey's Phoenix to be any more powerful than what we already saw in X-Men The Last Stand, this was it. Sure, this movie's got its own set of flaws, but it also gave us a supervillain so powerful that he literally took on Magneto, Cyclops, Beast, and Professor freaking X amongst other mutants, and they still couldn't beat him. Enter Jean Grey and the liberation of the Phoenix Force. We already know Jean. She's a sweet girl, just recently coming off 8 seasons covering a battle over an Iron Throne. She means no harm by herself, but she's got something dangerous resting inside, and when the Professor gives her the green light, she makes shit go seriously south. The Phoenix literally obliterates the mighty Apocalypse in a mere matter of seconds, and we now understand the potential of her powers. I mean, yeah, the others gave her an assist, but I'm pretty sure she did have it covered, right? Everything may appear to be well and good now, but we also know for a fact that this isn't going to be the last time we see the Force. I mean, the Phoenix Force. Sorry, wrong franchise. Hugh Jackman will always be near or the top of any list involving X-Men, and that also includes most horrible origin story. Of course, he wasn't always a household name, especially back in 2000 when he made his Hollywood debut with X-Men. But man, he sure gave us an amazing entrance. I was just as clueless as Anna Paquin's Rogue when she went to look for him in that boxing match. At first, I was like, who's this guy people are booing? He doesn't even look familiar at all. He's not even fighting back. This guy sucks. Well, needless to say, I was dead wrong. The Wolverine is an absolute legend. We don't get to see his famous claws in this scene, but we can hear the adamantium in his fists when he destroys his opponent without even batting an eye. That's good enough for me, and it was good enough for all of us as he went on to become the most beloved character in the X-Men cinematic universe. Sir Ian McKellen played this role to perfection, and his introduction established his dominance immediately to us. It doesn't get any more boss man than literally fighting Wolverine across a train as if he was some useless toy. Then, we can see his regard for the authorities as well, but it's not just his abilities that astound us, it's his sleek thinking that makes us respect him even if he's the villain. The MCU really should have taken some notes here. We also get introduced to Professor X, but he's almost like a secondary character when compared to his arch nemesis. Magneto knows how to pull his strings and does so quite effectively with the little gun game he plays. It made me think, man, this guy's really evil, but he's also a genius. This movie may have introduced us to a lot of beloved heroes, but its most menacing villain left the largest impact.
Excuse me, sir. Are you lost?
My God.
Okay, I know this one might sound strange as my #1 entry, but think about it. A blue teleporting mutant invades the White House and kicks the shit out of all of their top-notch security guards before almost assassinating the President of the United States of America. Now that is freaking epic. His introduction is so sudden and the action choreography is so well executed that it succeeds in building up a panicked atmosphere leading into the final moments of the scene. Be honest with me now, okay? This was way better than any other X-Men entrance you've seen in the movies, right? I couldn't stop watching this when it first came out on DVD, and I still look at it as one of the most effective ways to introduce a character and his skills, and this doesn't just apply to superhero movies. Trust me, give it another watch, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just too freaking good. And there you have it. Those are my top 10 X-Men entrances in movies. Do you think I nailed it, or should I have included something else? Let me know in the comments. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And of course, you can also support me on my Patreon or through my membership programs for exclusive content and goodies. Take care, and see you soon.